All right, let's get started. I want you guys to come to your mat and just have a seat on top of your sits bones with your knees bent, hands on the knees. We're going to just round over the legs, let the head hang, let the elbows be soft. Take a couple breaths here, in through the nose and out through the mouth. Relaxing the shoulders. Inhale. And as you exhale, go ahead and stack it up. Sitting up nice and tall, hands behind the legs, we roll back for a roll back stretch. And I want you to think about extending and pulling, and then rocking behind the sits bones, letting the chin go towards the chest, and then lifting. So as the chin goes towards the chest, you should feel a stretch in the back of the neck. Stack the spine and lift. One more round back. Pull it up, lift the chest. Give me one more, round it back. And lift. Good. From here, we're going to roll back and we're going to go into hip rolls or spinal articulation. So we'll spend about 30 seconds or a little bit longer going in through these. And I want you to use your breath. So take an inhale, neutral. As you exhale, we roll up, you pelvic tilt, like your back is a string of pearls, one pearl at a time. You're placing the vertebra on the mat and off the mat. Your feet are grounded, hip distance apart. You articulate up, and as you exhale, the chest melts down, middle back, lower back, rocking into neutral. Your weight's in your big toe, little toe, and heel, and the knees stay parallel. Watch that you stay on the shoulders and not the neck. You should be able to lift your head up off the mat if you try. Your weight's equal on both shoulders and in both legs. Next, shoulder arm glides. We reach back to the mat and then bend the elbows to that 90 degrees, reach again and lower. So alternating, just reach. Think lower back to the mat. So keep the ribs down. That's going to help you get that shoulder movement rather than rib movement. Let the thumbs glide on the ground as you do it. Going into our ab work, we're going to lift the chest, reach for the knees, back behind the head and lower down. So lift the chest, reach fingertips towards the knees. Try not to tuck the tailbone under. Keep that nice length in the back, hands behind the head, lower down. So as you reach and move the arms, keep the height of the chest. Keep your weight grounded in both feet. Try to get those fingertips all the way to the tips of the knees. Getting the shoulder blades off the mat, letting your head be heavy in your hands. We're going to reach your left leg long. So here, we're going to pull the knee into 90 degrees and then lengthen the leg, lower the chest. So as you come in, you can think about the right hip being grounded if this is your left leg that you're working. As you fold in, the elbows draw in towards the knee. Cautious not to pull on the neck. You're lifting the chest, peeling those shoulder blades off. Exhale as you lift. Inhale as you open. Let's lift it up, hold here. You're going to keep the chest lifted, head heavy in the hand as you lower and lift the leg. So we've got about 20 seconds here. Really keep that right hip grounded. Keep a neutral pelvis. Weight in the big toe, little toe, and heel of your right foot. As you lift and lower, lift that chest higher. You've got it. Hang in there. We're almost done. And bring it in. All right, other side. Lengthen your right leg. Inhale. As you exhale, we lift elbows towards the knee and open back out. If you're feeling this in your back, you don't have to lower the leg all the way to the mat. Remember, head is heavy in the hands. We're not pulling on the neck, but we're using the core to lift that chest. Good, let's lengthen the leg and lower and lift. Lower, lift that leg, really reaching long, but not letting that left hip rock off the mat. So we keep weight through that whole pelvis. Chest is lifted, head is heavy in the hands, reach long and lift. Hang in there, keep that core strong, keep that chest lifted. And let's bring it in here, lower down. All right, next move, we're gonna do a stretch. So spinal rotation, full rotation of the spine. We're going to cross your right leg over your left and arms out to the sides. Let the knees fall over. You can take your left hand to the right knee and feel that stretch in your right hip as it reaches away. You're looking your head to that opposite direction, so we have full rotation of the entire spine. Just breathing in here. And holding this stretch, you can go even longer if you wish. We're just doing this for 30 seconds now. As you come back, you can keep the legs crossed how they are, but now we go the other direction. So here you'll feel more of a stretch in the hip, in the psoas, in that top leg. So let the bottom leg, or the leg that's crossed over, pull or press into the top leg as it increases the stretch. Breathing into it, maybe letting the lower back extend a little bit here if you want more stretch. And then coming back to center. We're going to go other side. So now you cross the other leg over, left leg over the right, and we let the knees go over to the right. Head looks to the left in that full rotation. So your right arm can press on that left knee as you increase the stretch. Think left hip draws away. Keep length in that left side. It might want to hike up if you're really tight. And just use your breath. Inhale, and as you exhale, just let that stretch deepen. Good, come back to center, and we bring it over to the other side. So now that left leg is pressing on the right leg to increase the stretch. And again, you can extend the spine a little bit, so let the lower back extend a little if you want more stretch there. And we're just holding it and breathing. Big breaths. Feel that stretch through the whole hip and whole side body. Coming up from here, we're going to go into some cat-cow. So come on your hands and knees, and we'll go 30 seconds through this. So if one area feels better to you, you can just hold it there. You're going to round, shift your weight back, bring it back, and lift and extend. So exhale, round, sit back, stay for the inhale, exhale back, and inhale, lift. So you can breathe like that, or you can go a little quicker as I'm showing here. We just round, come forward, extend, and lift. Make sure you're moving that whole spine. Push the ground away, protract the shoulders. Shift the weight back and lift. Good. From here, tuck the toes. We're going to press up to a pike and then return to our quadruped position, our 4-point kneeling. So lift and back. I want you to think you can soften the knees, or you can press the heels down. Do what feels good. But as you shift back, we don't want to go forward. We want to find that stack of the knees drawing right back to the mat, shoulder stability. So think elbows wrap back as you come to that 4-point kneeling. From here, we're going to lift up. We're going to reach your right leg long, bring that knee in towards the nose as you shift forward, and bring the knee to the left, the right knee to the right wrist for pigeon. So now you can walk your arms down. We just hold this pigeon stretch for about 30 seconds. Your left leg should be straight behind the hip. So really find that rotation of the left hip bone drawing towards the mat. And you can even bring your head down and just sink into it. Remember to use that exhale as a melting into the stretch. As you get more comfortable, you might be able to pull your right foot forward a little bit more, so it's more of a 90-degree bend, or you can just walk your hands out or let your chest lower more. Good. Coming up from here, go back to your pike. We're going to take the other leg, reach it up. So left knee towards the left wrist, come down into your pigeon. That right leg should be directly behind the hip. So sometimes it'll go out to the right. So check your right leg alignment. My husband popped into the video here, so just ignore that and melt with me as we stretch on the mat. Allow the head to come down, really rocking that right hip towards the ground and breathing into it. One hip might feel more tight than the other. It's completely normal. Good. Walk the hands up, and we're going to come onto our stomach. And so from here, we're going to go into our press-ups. So as you do these, think the whole hand presses into the mat. You want to keep your pubic bone on the mat. So if you need to move your hands forward to do that, you can. Watch the elbows. They're going to want to pop out, but don't let them. Keep them wrapped back. Press it up and down, widening the collarbone. Lift the head, lift the heart, engage the glutes, and lower. This is spinal compression, so it compresses the lower spine, which then allows for more blood flow. It's a great exercise if you experience back pain. Remember to wrap your elbows back, really lift the heart, drop the shoulders. Good, going into a shell stretch. So big toes can touch, knees are open. We reach the arms long and you let your chest melt. Forehead goes to the mat. You can wiggle your fingers forward a little bit more if you need to, just for that length. And then we're gonna end up walking our arms to the sides in a moment here. So just really reach long, melt into it. If you have someone who could press on your lower back, they could stand by your head and just push down on that lower back. Otherwise, walk the hands over to the right side of the mat. So now you're gonna feel a huge stretch down the left side body. So take that left arm over as far as you can. Keep the hip grounded, both hips grounded into the heels as much as you can. And then walk your hands over to the other side of the mat. This is one of my favorite stretches. Really reach long through that right arm, keeping that right hip grounded. And breathe into the lat, into the hip. And we'll walk back to center. We're gonna go into our thoracic rotation now. So this is an excellent exercise for neck alignment, shoulder alignment. You're gonna stay in that knee open position with the toes touching and hand to the forehead. We rotate elbow to the opposite hand and then you rotate open. So we'll go 10 each side, twist and open, and exhale round, inhale, open. So the goal here is to keep weight on both knees evenly. We're not transferring our hips side to side. Your neck stays aligned with the spine. It's a good idea to film yourself doing these every once in a while just to check in and make sure you have that alignment. Your hand can either be right there by the ear or the back of the hand to the forehead. Let's go other side. So hand by the ear, open, and rotate down. So it's okay to bend that standing arm a little bit as well if you need to get down to the wrist. Trying to keep weight on both knees evenly and not shift side to side. You're protracting the grounded arm. All right, so from here, we're gonna do bird dog, alternating arm and leg. I want you to reach one arm, one leg without shifting the weight side to side and just give it a hold and back. So reach, hold, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and in. Other side, reach, hold, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and again. So just alternating, getting that hold. You're trying to keep the weight even on both sides. Let's go inner thigh stretch. So come on, kneeling position, hands forward. Your foot and your knee should be aligned, and we're just gonna shift forward and back, tapping the elbows down a few times. So elbows tap as you shift your weight back and forward. And we'll go into our rotation. So now left arm will reach up and we thread the needle. So you reach under, you can bend your right, and we open back up. So as you rotate, you can shift your weight back slightly. You should feel a big stretch in your left inner thigh. 2 more here. Reach under and shift back, and press and rotate up. And again, reach under, shift back, press and rotate up. And again. Good. Coming other side, we're going to take the leg long, so foot and knee aligned, hands in front. Let's just do our shift forward and back and do a few elbow taps as well. So do what feels good. Again, one side can feel completely different than the other, and that's completely normal. So maybe you spend a little more time on one side. We reach one arm up and then you rotate under, and as you do, you can shift your hips back. So thread that needle, shift the hips back slightly. Lift and open. and threading under. As you thread under, try to keep the right arm that's going under the left close to the left arm. 2 more here. Reach under for 2 and up, and 1 more. Reach and ground it. All right, we're going to come into our extension preps on our stomach. Feet are wider than your hips, toes out, heels in. You want to make sure the pubic bone and the hip bones are into the mat. So you use the glutes, you pull the belly in. Let's start with a full one. You're going to lift, open, and lower back down. Then lift again, bring the hands behind the forehead, and lower back down. So it's a lift, you open out, and then you rotate the palms, rotate that arm. Lift again. You're lifting the heart forward, hands back. Then we just go into a lift, stay lifted, hands to the forehead, open out, lower down. Lift, stay lifted, hands to the forehead, open out, lower down. Last one. Lift, hands to the forehead, open, and back down. Good. Coming onto your side, we're going to do our side rotation and overhead. So we rotate, keeping those knees pressed together, and come back. Then let the thumb slide as you go around and soften the elbow. Then you reach up and back, and we rotate over. Inhale and exhale to return. Thumb slides down as you reach up, and as you're back there, just bend the elbow and then reach it forward again. Open, your head is resting in your hand, and let's go other side. So hand underneath the head, your butt and head are aligned, your knees are at 90. We open and close, thumb is grounded, you go around, soften the elbow, reach overhead and back. Again, open, inhale, exhale, back and around, soften the elbow. Got 1 more. Reach it to open, breathe in, breathe out to close, thumb slides around. And I did not finish that one, but that's okay. Join me here. We're going to take a stretching rope for our hamstring stretch. So grab your rope, you're going to lay on your back and put it around your foot. I have a jump rope here because it got a little crazy. But I want you to think about grounding the leg that you're hooked onto. You want to keep length in that side body. It's like your leg is plugging into the ground. You can keep your other knee bent if you need to, but you're going to keep that plug in so you're not letting your hips lift up off the mat as you draw the leg towards you. Bending the elbows, just pulling that leg towards you and holding. So we're just going to hold here, breathe into it. Again, keeping length in the side body. If you feel that your left hip or left leg is lifting off the mat too much, then just bend the knee so that you can ground your right hip and hold, maybe increasing the stretch as we go. And let's switch legs. So again, find your alignment of your hips first, feeling like your left sits bone is reaching across the room or away from you. You're drawing the leg towards you, and we're breathing into it. Watch that you aren't straining in the shoulders at all. You're relaxed in the neck and the shoulders. And just breathing into it and increasing that stretch as we go. Good. And let's release coming out of this. Our next move is our plank builder. So we're going to come onto our stomach with our elbows underneath our shoulders. It's important that your elbows are only shoulder distance apart, palms press into the mat. So your thighs stay grounded. I want you to first just spread the shoulder blades apart by pressing elbows and hands into the mat. We lift the hips. Think tailbone tucks under. You can even bring the inner thighs together, the legs together to find that inner thigh connection. And so as you press the hands, forearms, and elbows and into the mat and push those shoulder blades apart, you're going to feel that core like crazy. You might even be shaking here. We're just holding for 20 seconds. Your neck stays long. You keep that press in the hands and the elbows. And let's release. Let's go one more time for 20 seconds. So think, spread the shoulder blades apart, lift those hips, keep that tuck of the tailbone, press into the hands, press into the elbows, hold. We are building core endurance here. Hang in there. You've got this. Hold. Keep pressing into the hands. And release. All right, you made it through the 20-minute daily moves. Try to do this video at least 3 times a week, and you will be feeling and moving so much better. So have a wonderful rest of your day, and I will see you on the mat again soon.